Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get that 700 subs. Only not 11 subs away, I believe. So, 21 subs away. So that's not too bad. We're gonna try to go crazy this month and try to really make a ton of videos. So today we're gonna start you off, guys, with Windbreaker. The latest chapter of Windbreaker came out, and this is the problem with Windbreaker for me. The chapters are hella short, man. These chapters are too goddamn short order. I understand that the art is phenomenal. I understand that the character development is phenomenal. I understand that the storytelling is phenomenal. I understand that. Damn it, give me longer chapters, bro. Like, I was reading this and like one thing happened, and I'm like, damn, bro. It's really one of those stories you gotta read in bulk. It's way better to read in bulks. That's actually one of the key reasons why I don't really review it weekly. I don't think I will. I'll just review it every now and then when certain scenarios occur. That's like, wow, okay, a bunch of these scenarios occurred, and I might title it like that chapter and more or some shit, just so you know kind of what I'm talking about or the range I'm at. But yeah, man, I read the past few chapters, and I really enjoyed it. I made a whole video on it. I loved that Jay lost. I think it was important, the talent wise and stuff like that. This kid, Owen, is supposed to be a world-class cyclist. He can't be losing to no rookie like those. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the leader of one of the most prominent cycling groups in the world. You can't just be that and then lose to some random kid in Korea that's just really good at cycling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even with a trashy ass bike. So that was really good to see. But it also showcases the high potent and talent level of Jay. At the same time, like, he's super talented considering his competition is probably not quite as high. Like, Korea isn't known for like winning world cycling events. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely phenomenal to see that. Excuse me, burp. I like that realism. I love that realism. I love that, and it also gives us gives us something for our characters to grow to. Vinny wants to beat Jay, and Jay wants to beat Owen. You know what I'm saying? So this is great, and Vinny is almost assessing himself, like, right? And I like that the story gives us the potential that Jay might not end up being the best cyclist in the world. I think Vinny's raw talent is phenomenal, but I think Vinny's personality holds him back. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference between him and Jay. Jay is always willing to learn. Vinny's more just kind of goes with his raw talent. Like when he lost his fight against Dom Kennedy, like, Dom, he grew up with gangsters. He's living different. So he was built for that shit. While Vinny became strong out of necessity. Like, he didn't really care about fighting like those, but he had to become a bully in order to not get bullied. You know what I'm saying? So it's completely different scenarios, different circumstances. A bully would lose to a trained fighter any day of the week, or essentially, right? So that's the thing about it, and it's just intriguing the way these stories are paralleled and the way they intertwine. And Minu in the hospital, almost paralleling Vinny's mom always getting hospitalized now, as well. In the latest chapter, she got hospitalized, and I know the comment section for some reason focused on this man's haircut, Jay's haircut, and I was like, yo, how we not talking about Vinny's whole mother possibly, you know what I'm saying, losing her sight, possibly, you know what I'm saying, anything could be going on with her right now. Like, we don't even know what the fuck is happening. So like, this shit is crazy. Like, but you can see that he's always self-assessing, but not always making the right moves to fix himself in a way, or to improve himself. Like, you can really see when he was rushing to the hospital, and he just left, and he was rushed to the hospital, like sprinting, after he was pissed off about people talking about Jay and praising Jay, because he's already a little bit jealous, or high-key jealous, like, damn, why am I not as good as this kid? Now, simultaneously, the dude handicaps himself because his freaking handlebars are trash. His bike is trash, but he got it as a gift and stuff like that, so he doesn't want to get rid of it. He's very sentimental in that way. He's a loyal guy, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things he doesn't want to do, like even customize his bike, shit like that, his shoes, all of that. Those certain things that he does certain things a certain way and doesn't really want to change that. You know what I'm saying? He's really afraid of losing things. And he sprints down to the hospital to check out his mom, and on his way there, he's thinking of how terrible in the past he was towards his mother. You know what I'm saying? How horrible he was as a kid sometimes, like when, throwing the flower to the floor, like just being an absolute nuisance and a headache to her, and making her life way harder than it needed to be. And that's the unfortunate reality of it. If you grow up in a broken home where your parent or parents are going through a ton, you normally like also attack them. You also end up being like an extra problem to them instead of like, some kids obviously are really great kids and they just understand and they actually help alleviate a lot of the parents' trauma and pain and problems. And then some kids just add on to that shit because that's the whole coping mechanism of it almost. It's like they don't really believe that their parents are going through it like they're going through it because as a kid, you don't really understand. Like, it's like when you ask your parent to buy you some shit and they don't buy you some shit, but all the other kids are getting bought some shit. You're like, why the fuck? And they buy me some shit. Like, and it really hits in the feels. Like, it extremely hits in the field. I'm actually like going chapter like talk about this as like as a chapter thing just because how the conversation is going. I think I'm probably going to title this something to do with realism. I think Windbreaker and realism might be a more suitable title. And I just love that the way how grounded it is. You know what I'm saying? Obviously these kids are doing some spectacular, nearly impossible shit, but simultaneously it's grounded around the real world, right? It's kind of like if you look up the ultimate universe in Marvel. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. It's basically an alternative universe of Marvel that existed for a few years, for a good few years, that basically grounded the Marvel universe. Like shit that happened was like real politics type shit, like racism, like all of that shit, sexism, all of that type, like was really brought in to like the micro level. Like it wasn't just this, it was really delved into and really inspected and really characterized and really showcased, and how the government in our world reacts to certain things was really brought forth, and how the authors believe that they would react in if we had superheroes and villains and all that type of shenanigans. And it's really really good. It was my favorite part of Marvel for a very long time, minus, Young Avengers and the like. But anyway, a lot of people probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But to those who know, you know. But yeah, so the realism in Windbreaker is breathtaking, to be honest, because you really feel these characters' motivations, these characters' beliefs. Even Owen Knight, I know a lot of people say they don't like Owen Knight, but I completely understand them. Like, that's your best friend. That's somebody that's, you've been around and been with for the longest time. And she never really give you that attention. And I think he's sick of, I think he's one of those like, yo, we've been friends for a long time and I didn't want to ruin our friendship. And I think at some point he realized like that's also the love of my life. It's not just my friend, it's also the love of my life, and I am allowing myself to lose her. You know what I'm saying? And without fighting for it, without giving it a fight. And I think he went out of his way to fight for it. And even though his actions aren't always going to be right? Love makes us do crazy shit. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but everybody be making this type of crazy ass mistakes, right? So he pulls up to Japan and he got the money, so he pulled up. He's like, yo, to Korea. Sorry, he got the money. He pulls up to Korea and he's like, yo, look, I really fuck with you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for you. I want to showcase and to fight for you, like, to be like, I really want you, you know what I'm saying? But he sometimes he's gonna overreact. Sometimes he's gonna do things that aren't, seen as positive or great by everybody else. But Shelly, I think, understands him in that way. And but obviously Shelly ended up falling in love with this dork ass dude called Jay, who's really good at cycling, and ignores her because people always want what they can't have, really, right? If he gave her attention, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have dated him or liked him in the first place. That's just reality of things, right? I'm in similar circumstances to Owen Knight myself, so I completely understand like wanting to push it, but also being afraid of pushing it, and like it's a real duality. Like, you really, should I just go for it? But will this run a friendship? Fuck it, should I try at least and try to fix the friendship later? There's like so much moving parts to it, so much thought, so much anxiety that goes through something like that. You know what I'm saying? But wait, my homie's calling me. 2 seconds. Anyway, sorry. I'm also an engineer, low key, high key. So, but basically, I think that's what makes it so intriguing. I think, the fact, just how that all works out, and I think that's probably why I have a soft spot for Owen Knight because of that. Same as for Vinny, and how just uncertain he is about relationships and hanging out with a girl, and how his friends are pushing him towards it because the girl likes him, but thank God for him, the girl makes it fucking obvious as shit. Sometimes it's just not that easy to know, and I think Jay's perspective is probably uncertainty whether the girl likes him like that or just dotes on him as a friend. You know what I mean? And then obviously there's Minu's whole situation, which is just so fucking sad. Like, he was going through so much trauma beforehand, and he hit it with a big smile. His mother being mentally gone. I'm actually not even gonna bring it up, but it's actually crazy. It's actually crazy that people go through that type of shit, and a lot of people don't see it from the outside, don't see it, you know what I'm saying? And it's tough, man. It's tough, and people call you this and call you that and say this person like this because of that without knowing what led them to being to that person that you dislike or like or whatever, you know. So it's crazy, man. I love Windbreaker. I'm not gonna lie, the phone call kinda, it didn't kill my vibe because it wasn't like a negative phone call, but it just took away because I make videos in flow state. And once I'm kind of out of the flow state, it's very hard for me to bring back that enthusiasm unless it's without it being acting, and I don't really like acting for my videos. But anyways, that's kind of maybe part one of Windbreaker and realism. I might go back and look at more things about it, and I think why it works really really well. And you know, the slapstick comedy, the realistic clothes. These dudes actually wear Yeezys. They got, you know, all type of gear on them. But yeah, man, it's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. 700, man. Come on. I'm out.
Love me like a rock star in